I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown! Yeah! We're back, baby! Woo! As you were saying all in the chat, bonsoir, beautifuls. How's it going, all? Good to see you.
Isn't that mixing languages?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Translanguaging is a thing, and it's cool.
Translanguaging.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
I bet you thought you tuned into the wrong channel for a second.
All right, folks. It's been a while.
We've become world.
It's been a while. We haven't done one of these variety shows since January 11th.
Who's keeping track of time anymore? It's 2020.
It's been forever because we've been doing top 100 stuff and other things and stuff.
It could be
And
September
Dice Tower
47th.
retreat reviews and all sorts of crazy.
That's what's up. Which things?
All right, folks.
Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, I hope everybody's doing good.
Woo.
It's good to be back. So
Good to see y'all.
we recently, I guess last week. Is it last week or was it 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Last week we came back from the Dice Tower
What?
cruise.
Was it that recently? It was. You know what? It feels like a month ago. Do you know why? Because we came right into an ice storm.
Yeah, it was crazy ice apocalypse. But anyway, so we went to the Dice Tower cruise. We
did.
We went down a few days early. We stayed a few days late. We did all sorts of craziness. And as always,
We don't do normalness.
As always, I made a montage video.
Because he is good at these.
So without further ado, we're gonna kick you into the montage video.
Wow, just drop kick him right in.
Kick you right
You
into
don't even
it.
get a choice.
It's a little over 9 minutes, and we'll see you on the other side.
Oh.
And feel free to ask questions as you go. My CIO, Chief Information Officer, will keep track of the questions.
Yes, let's roll.
And here we go.
Collision imminent! Oh, collision imminent! Hey, we're driving here!
We're driving here!
We're driving here!
Originally, the Flyers outfit wore costumes elaborated with bird feathers. Due to the conquest, the attire has been changing because of the Spanish influence. The white outfit is a combination of the colors represented
upside down.
the sunlight rays, the meadow flowers, the rainbow, the moon. UNESCO declared the ritual ceremony of the Pavilion of the Flyers as a tangible cultural heritage of humanity.
And we're back.
We are back.
Yay!
I should have took a drink
in between.
while you were on the video.
You're like, is it going okay? Yeah. So a couple things to point out really quickly.
Firstly, the internet's kind of
acting up a little bit.
doing this kind of thing. So hopefully it isn't too bad for you guys.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yes. I saw in the chat, Neutral mentioned that he is a Jack Vassal volunteer. So pester us about that, or pester Neutral if you want to, contribute to the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund at some point. That's pretty cool. You might recognize some people in our chat that are regulars that were on the Dice Tower cruise as well. There was a certain blonde-haired Trogdor, aka TZ Gardner, was in several of those pictures and played some games, which was awesome. And also our regular Hawkskull was in there as well. I think you might have seen those two bantering back and forth about being famous in there now. I thought that was funny. And also, for those of you that are like way back fans of Board Game Blender and stuff, Hunter was sitting next to Ilya, who was also doing Board Game Blender segments way back in the day with us, and he is from Estonia, and I still think it's so cool. He's like an every timer on the Dice Tower cruise. It blows my mind. He comes all the way from Estonia, and it is so cool to see him on the trip every time too. So it was like crazy fun. Trogdor and Hawkskull, it was a blast getting to play games with you. Like, that's the most, first of all, the most games we've ever gotten to play on the cruise.
Our record was
so exciting.
3 games.
Yeah.
We played like 10.
We like destroyed that with you guys. That was so cool. I cannot express to you, like, we were actually bummed we didn't get to play more because we were like, this is the coolest thing. We finally got to play games on the cruise. So that was...
The kids are getting a little older, so it's not, we don't have to police them quite as much.
Yeah,
so.
It's so much nicer. It's just... All good things. It's just greatness. So that was really fun. Had a blasty blast with that. Hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Next best thing to go in there yourself. You guys got to go sometime.
Yeah,
Dice Tower Cruise is
it's amazing.
Awesome.
It's interesting because it seems like for us, anyway, some people are different, obviously, but for us, it's like when we don't have anything else to do, that's when we board game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody. If you want to stay in, you don't even want to do the excursions, and you just want to go be on a boat and play games with people, have a change of scenery, this is perfect. You can go do that. If you want to do like we do, we usually do all the excursions, go crazy. This is our chance to get out and see some of the world. You can do that too.
Right.
You can find some happy blend in between. If you're a fitness nut, you can go. You saw that next to the aquarium thing, there's climbing walls and they have workout stuff, and you can go on hikes and you go to these beach excursions, and it is amazing all the different things you can do. You can eat your weight in food. You can behave yourself and just eat really, really nice food. You can do both. All the food's good. Eat all the food.
So it's a full-blown cruise with a mid-sized convention on the boat.
Yeah, it's great. And it has the whole Dice Tower library, which you saw in that picture of the gaming room, a chunk of it. It's the Dice Tower East library, which is ginormous.
Yeah, they didn't even bring everything. They normally have 2,000 games. They brought like 1,800. Which
I totally noticed.
Which is plenty.
I totally noticed. No, just kidding. I totally didn't notice. You could have fooled me. It looked like the whole collection was there. So yeah, it was awesome, awesome, awesome. There you go. Being relaxed out on the ocean is, it's so cool. And this was the first time we actually had some rough seas the first day out too.
No, it was rough for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's true. It was a couple days.
I actually felt it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you usually don't really have any issues with it, but Hunter actually felt it this time. Nessa couldn't go to sleep without Dramamine. Poor baby.
Yeah.
And it didn't bother me, but I was very aware of it. Like,
it was definitely rocking the whole first 2 or 3 days. But
even with that, it seemed like there was, you could take the Dramamine and stuff, and it really helps. It makes you feel better. And there's still things that you can usually do that'll kind of help distract you, like play a game. Yeah. Now, I heard some people really felt very sensitive to it in the actual gaming room. They said they could feel it really well down there.
Yeah, it seemed like it was opposite. The lower you went, the worse it was. It really should be the higher you up.
I wonder if part of it was you weren't in the open air.
Yeah, probably.
I think that was a lot of it.
And there's people really packed.
Yeah, it was more packed in that room, and I think that was partly. So it's just so awesome. Even with not ideal conditions the first couple days, I feel like we still got to get a lot out of it, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Sorry, Hunter has to get our pesky little critter inside.
All right, so a few things. One is if you didn't follow the stuff in the video, we went to Everglades National Park.
Yes.
We went to obviously the cruise, and the cruise went to Cozumel, Honduras, and
That Costa Maya
Costa
located,
Maya, to Mexico twice, and in between Honduras. We went to the beach. We did beach things for almost all the stops. After the trip, we went to Biscayne National Park. We went to the Miami Zoo. We went to Key Largo. We went to the Dice Tower Studios.
And all of those things were very fun.
And it was an amazing trip. It was a busy trip, but it was an amazing trip.
It was worth it. It was one of those things where you may be tired at the end of it, but I feel like if we weren't tired, we weren't doing it right. You know?
And if you're a Dice Tower fan, we missed Trey Parker by one day.
Oh my God! What?
We came the day before Trey Parker.
Yeah, we weren't the cool guests. It's cool. It's cool.
It was cool to walk around the place, say hi to everybody. We only stayed for like 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, we just because they were.
It was on our way to Key Largo. We stopped by and said hi to everybody.
But it was super fun, and Mike gave me the official. You got part of the official tour. You were chatting with Kenny and stuff, but I got the official tour by Mike DeLisio, and it was hilarious.
Yes.
And my favorite thing is Tom's, like, his
side
room.
office.
His side office is like basically a walk-in closet, but they don't have a door on it. Instead, it's this big curtain. And Mike like announced him like he was jumping out from a magic show. It was freaking hilarious, and it cracked.
Yeah, if you ever watched the Dice Tower,
they're really funny in person too.
The main studio, there's a table obviously that you see, but right off to their right, your left, is a walk-in closet where they took the door off.
Yeah, it's this big red curtain.
And it's got like a 70s looking red curtain blocking the door.
It's so fun.
That's Tom's office, is the walk-in closet.
They threw him in a closet. They threw him in a closet.
So hilarious.
But yeah, he comes out and they're like, ta-da! It was great. But they're all amazing. They're super nice. I got to like officially in person get to chat with Camilla. I haven't had a chance to really chat with her yet.
Yeah, you think on a 7-day
super
cruise
nice,
you
all of
would
them.
see everyone and talk to everyone, but it's really hard, and they're super busy most of the time.
They are, and plus we are too, in a way, because we're like super doing family stuff. So it's a really awesome experience, and you do get chances to chat with people too, though, because they were at different things when we weren't and stuff. Some of them, because I know, like, I think Mike and Tom went on one of the excursions, that animal thing. I'm sure a lot of people went on that one.
Bird and monkey encounter
Is what they. Well, I think there was a sloth or something too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember. There were critters. So if you went on some of the encounters, I know in the past, like we went ziplining when Jason went ziplining. So we went with Jason actually. That was a lot of fun.
Right.
But yeah, when you go on these, you usually get to hang out and do stuff with them too.
Right.
So it's really a lot of fun. This was the only year we didn't get to. Usually we sit and have. You were just about to say that we have dinner and we kind of change tables, sit with different people each night. Because of COVID, they didn't do that. We had assigned seats this year. That kind of put a damper on our social life, because that was one of our big things. Is like dinner, we'd all like sit with different people
each night.
So that was a little bit of a bummer, but at the same time, you still get to see everybody, even if it's from afar, and have a good time. Oh my gosh, I can't think of that kid's name. His birthday. We even helped embarrass a teenager on his birthday on the ship. It was fantastic.
I'm horrible with
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember.
But anyway,
it was funny.
At dinner, we had our own table. Our family had our own table. But to our left, well, if you're facing the dining room, to our left, we had Mike Parkinson, if you know him. He's the
I love Mike.
the
And his
super
wife
creative
was
guy that was
sweet.
on Breakfast. Vernon, the painting guy. We had across the way was Roy and his girlfriend and
Mike DeLisio's fam.
Mike DeLisio's family, and further on was Eric, and then off to our right was
Chris
Yee
and his wife
and some other.
and like
it was really it was kind of all we're kind of like
it was funny. There was like a little corner of
with
Dice Tower people.
The bad kids section was all put in the back.
All those bad kids.
They put us in the back to stay out of trouble.
I can't believe you called us the bad kids. Can you believe that?
The good kids don't sit at the back of the class, do they? I used to sit at the back of the class, but I wouldn't.
Well, it depends on the class. I sat in the back of math class because I was like, I don't understand. Help me. But yeah.
So it was an amazing trip. It was awesome.
Wonderful people. You guys, oh my gosh, so much fun.
But let's talk about some board games.
Let's. The reason. for the season? For the cruise?
Yeah, Aiden.
Yeah, because
Aiden. It was Aiden.
Yeah, because they've done it before in the past where they're like Aiden's mom. They'll wear a bunch of whole shirts and stuff. You're right. Thanks, Trogdor. You came through.
All right. So
really
since we last talked, played 17 different games.
What?
Rebecca played 3 without me. 2 without me. And there's one other game we'll talk about that the eldest child played.
Oh, yes.
All right. So always we do worst to best. And it's a new year. It's a new season. I don't know. We don't really do seasons. We do halvesies. I do halvesies now on ratings.
Wait, what?
We halvesies.
Oh, you need to put a warning across this. I hope you're sitting down.
I do halvesies now. It's a new world that we're living in. Halvesies. Anyway,
It's the end times.
so let's start with my number 17 game, the worst game I played. I give it a 6, which isn't bad. It's a meh. It's maybe a meh minus, but meh.
Outrageous, good sir.
A little wordy.
This was a great little game. A meh minus.
It's a meh minus. Well, you apparently like it more than me. We just discussed.
No, go ahead.
So a little wordy. This is from the makers of Exploding Kittens and all Throw Burrito and all those guys. This is a little word game. It's a 2-player word game. You're given a random assortment of letters. You build a word out of it. You write your word down, and then you give the other person your letters that you made your word out of.
Okay.
And then the object is to guess the other person's word. And the way you figure out what their word is you have these clue cards that are out in a display that you can use. And you say, I want to use this clue card, and it may say, tell me the first letter of the word. And that costs 3 points. And then maybe you got, tell me how many E's are in the word, and that costs 2 points. Anyway, you do these clues back and forth, picking these among this tableau of cards. And each time you get a clue, it gives more points. And the goal is to get the word with the least amount of points, which is it's a neat little game.
Yeah, it's fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I am sad that you did not. Well then.
It was okay. It was just okay. I don't like word games, but it's okay.
Actually, you know what?
I would play
really and truly, for him to say okay on a word game is like me getting an A in math, but it's actually a C, but it feels like an A to me. You know what I'm saying?
It was okay. I mean, if you really wanted to play this, I would say let's play it.
Okay.
But I would never say, hey, do you want to play this game?
That's a high praise coming from him. Seriously.
That's a 6. That's a 6 for me. If someone wants to play it, I'll play it with them, but I won't suggest the game to be played.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Trogdor says halvesies need to include you doing a dance montage for the halvesy rating.
Every time I do a halvesy, I have a little clip of me. I forgot to wear my hat.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
All right, so let's do number 16. 16. Okay. Number 16, this game is a Parker Brothers games from the 90s that we got to play with one notorious Z Garcia. And it was a fun little game. I only give it a 6, but it was fun. I give it a 10 for the experience, a 6 for the game.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That's fair.
I got it.
Underground says, there we go, now that you have your hat on.
All right, here it is. And the game is, you saw Amanda, if you know Amanda from Heavy Games, Inc.
What?
Oh, that's not it.
What?
That's not it. Where is it?
Oh, you broke it.
I mean, I'm giving you guys
You
previews.
broke the
there
internet.
It is. Art Travels.
Okay.
I was looking at the wrong spot.
It's heavy cardboard, you dingus. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it used to be on heavy cardboard back in the day.
Okay.
All right, so Arch Rivals. That's a game where you build this arch, and you're basically randomly rolling dice to put things in the arch, and eventually it's going to fall down, and you lose.
And it's fantastic.
So
it is fantastic chaos.
It's more intense than it should be.
Yes, which makes it so good.
It's a goofy little 90s Parker Brothers game, but it has
the old school like cool plastic pieces.
Oh dear, the dog has this.
Oh no, I got this.
I enjoyed it. You saw a glimpse of us playing it in if you watch the montage video. It's a fun little game. It's actually not hard to find. It's a goofy little dexterity game. So the only thing I don't like, one thing I don't like about it is whoever knocks the thing down, whoever causes it to fall, loses the game. I prefer, for whatever reason, it sounds better to me that everyone else wins.
That is really odd of you.
Rather than one person loses.
You don't like the old maid thing?
No, I don't like that. You lose.
You're like, yay, we all win, except for you.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's better. We all win, but you lose.
That sounds about right.
All right.
What was great is that we actually have a lot of film clips because we thought the game was going to be over like 20 times.
Yes.
Because it kept getting really shaky.
Yeah.
And then someone would magically pull it off. So I've got footage of all of us at least twice.
Yeah.
We went around like an extra
20
round.
little 5-second clips of people
Yes,
doing
people
it.
almost do. It was great. It was great.
I think she found another toy.
This dog is trying to test every nerve I have tonight. Okay.
All right, let's move on to my number 15. I give it a 6 as well. This is another game that we played with Mr. Garcia. Anyway, we went out with Z and Amanda for dinner, and he was kind enough to invite us back to their place to play games. So we got to play a couple of games with them. This is another one we played. Again, 10 for the experience, but 6 for the game. It's kind of meh.
Lady wants to say hi because she has nothing better to do.
One key.
Oh, that was good. That was fun.
It was all right.
Oh my God.
Then you talk about it since you liked it more.
This is one of those games that if you like, you might have heard them talking about this recently. I think Z was mentioning it on something.
He said one key was mentioned, I think in a Kickstarter they had, this company made a new game that previously made this game. I think, maybe.
Yeah. And so this reminds me a lot of Mysterium, if you liked Mysterium. And all its variants therein, a little bit Dixit-ish too. The cards are somewhere in between Mysterium and Dixit. And it's very similar in that way because you're using these clues. The person who's it kind of like in Mysterium, is trying to help you,
right?
But they're getting these really funky cards. But the neat thing is you get to choose, like, the person who's in charge of the cards is going to be able to put out several, and you get to choose which one. You find out by a key code. It's kind of like a stoplight code, green and yellow and red, like telling you, green, this is going to be really close to the card I picked. Red is definitely not a clue for the card I picked. And you get to choose one of these and get to see what the key was to it, so you get to see if it's red, yellow, or green, and kind of help yourself along the way. And they're trying to guide you in the same way as like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. As we're having discussions, you know, clues are kind of given out. The person's guiding the discussion with these cards as well. They just don't have as much solid control because, again, you're using these funky Dixit-like cards. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, like in Mysterium, it kind of flips it on its head a little bit, because in Mysterium you get a group of cards. And you go, okay, this card really helps us, so I would pick this card. In this game, like she said, you're just given 3 cards, and you have to say how well they match. Yeah. You don't get to pick cards.
If you like that style of game and you've enjoyed that, I think that you would probably get a kick out of one key.
Yeah.
It's very similar style.
So it's a cute little social deduction party-ish
It prompted
game.
some fun discussions and stuff. And also you're trying to work on the mind of the person who's it, right? It's always funny.
All right, let's move on to my number 14. Hi, everybody. Let's make sure I get the right button this time.
Hello.
I give this game a 7. This is Warsaw City of something. Ruins or something like that. Warsaw. It used to be called Capital. They reprinted it. I played this with Amanda Z and Corey Thompson. If you're a Dice Tower fan, you know who he is.
Cool. Okay.
We played that. It was a fun little kind of tableau building game. It was okay. It's not. I enjoyed my play. I don't know if I would ever revisit it, but it was.
Lady says meh.
It's a meh plus. Meh. It's a good little tableau building game. A little engine building, tableau building game. It's interesting because you're building out a grid of cards. And eventually you're going to fill up your grid. So there's some benefits and kind of synergy with building on top of your cards. So you get a discount for building on cards, on top of cards, but then you lose the benefit of whatever card you're covering up. Okay. So it's kind of a cool little engine building game. So,
yeah, okay. Very nice.
Warsaw.
Very nice.
It's okay. It's all right.
Sounds like you had some fun peeps to play with, though. That's very exciting.
I enjoyed it. It's fun.
Good times.
Corey's always fun to hang out with, because he's very he's one of those storytelling types that tells stories and stuff.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to my number 13. That's it for the games I did not own. So the games I don't own, there's a reason I don't own them.
Wow. You haven't played them before either, good sir.
All right, my number 13. I give it a 7.5. Key the dance.
The dance. Do a little do. Oh wow, that is so special in that hat. Somebody make a meme out of that. Okay. Anyway.
Snakes is my number.
On a plane? Oh.
Snakes is my number 13. 7.5.
Sweetie.
7.5. Down.
Oh, snake.
But not that you can tell with this box.
This box is greatness.
So this one we played with the family and Trogdor.
Yep.
Family and Trogdor, I guess it was.
We also played. Didn't we play with some other people too?
No, that was some other.
We haven't talked about it yet.
Anyway, Snakes is a social deduction trivia game, which is an interesting twist. So basically, the way the game works is the group is asked a trivia question and it's given 3 different answers. One person among the group knows the correct answer, or multiple people. It depends on the number of players. They're snakes. They know the correct answer, and their goal is to guide you away from the correct answer and influence you to pick the wrong answer.
Traitors!
So they're basically traitors.
Traitors!
So the big guys get points for picking the right answer. The bad guys get points for people picking the wrong answer. So,
okay.
And they're very obscure questions
they're great.
that you wouldn't know the answer
great
to.
Trivia. Oh, no, not necessarily. There were a couple science nerdy questions.
There was a couple
we knew.
that I knew the answer to. Yeah, that people knew the answer to.
I'm sorry, the royal we.
Yeah, we knew the answer to. That doesn't really help. 7.5. So this is almost an 8. This normally back in the day this would have just got a 7, but it's a 7.5. So
did Snakes prompt you into going into the halvesies?
no.
Is this the game?
Well, it's one of the games because I kind of went, is it a 7 or is it an 8, and that should be a 7.5, right? If you're kind of going between, I don't know if it's an 8 or a 7. I'm
trying to figure out why it took you this long to decide this. It's interesting.
It's just
Getting soft in your old age.
Integers is the way to go, I guess. But anyway, integers. Anyway, Snakes, good little social deduction trivia game. Anyway,
On a plane.
On a plane.
We need to play this on a plane now, just because.
Do we?
Yes.
All right.
Who's with me?
Well, we on to number 12. This is a disappointment. I wanted to love this game.
What?
I wanted to love this game. It's a 7.5 because it's another one I went, is it a 7 or is it an 8? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to love this game, but...
Embarcadero?
Embarcadero.
Is this the one with the little cargo ships in
Yes.
them?
Yeah. It was just like, it was fun, but
I feel like...
It's a little bit fiddly.
It's a little fiddly for what it is. The theme's
There
cool.
wasn't really enough going on for me. It was just collecting symbols, basically, to buy things. It was really weird. You build this tableau of symbols, and those symbols let you purchase other things. So it's kind of reminds me of Meadow in that way, that you have these symbols that allow you to buy other cards. So you purchase cards that give you different symbols to buy better cards, to get better cards, to get better cards, to get more points. Meanwhile, you're building out this I guess, I don't know, on the board there's docks, and you're putting cargo boxes on ships, and you're stacking those up, which is kind of fiddly. There's rules, adjacency rules on how things work and whether it's adjacent or not. It just kind of didn't flow for me, and I didn't have that, that moment where I go, oh, that was interesting, or ooh, that was cool. It was just kind of, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, Embarcadero, you're likely heading to the I don't know. Don't sleep with the fishes.
Whoa!
You're gonna sink your boat.
It's right here, man.
You're gonna sink your boat.
Wow.
Anyway, it's all right. But we have so many mid to heavyweight Euro games that are better than this. So
Truth.
probably won't be seeing that guy again, unfortunately. That was one of my impulse buys. I really shouldn't do these impulse buys.
Why not?
So
we should do some great impulse buys.
So when we go to game stores, I try to buy something to kind of support the local game stores, and this is one of the ones I bought.
But sometimes we have some really, really awesome finds for you. You cannot dog your impulse buys.
We have some good finds. The dog just wants to be a part of this video.
She has found so many toys.
All right.
She is finding all the toys tonight.
Let's move on to my number 11.
At least this one doesn't.
A light little card game that we played with the infamous, nay notorious, nay very British, and I didn't know, Hawkskull. He is crazy British. Like, you look up British Is British a bad term? Hawk School, educate me.
I was gonna say, is American a bad
English
term?
versus British.
Oh, I see what you're saying. English for very.
Would you prefer be called English or British? Anyway,
That's a great question.
She's got the accent. I love accents because I have a Texan accent, but I love accents. I love accents. So Hawk School. We played this in Hawk School. It's one of our kind of go-to light little card games. I was kind of tired and not feeling well because I didn't talk about this, but I think I got a case of food poisoning from one of our excursions, and I was sick for a few days, so I wasn't. And the boat doing this didn't help
you. You were.
So I kept it light, kind of light, and not too games I knew and that sort of thing. So archaeology, the card game, light little set collection game, easy to teach. It plays in like 30 minutes. And that's kind of a go-to. British is fine.
He says I'm both, and neither is offensive.
Okay.
See, I was going to say.
I didn't know, because when you say Britain, you're throwing in like Wales and other places.
Well, it's not like, okay, if you went up and you're like, you're American, well, then yeah, I would take it negatively. But if you're like, hey, Hawk School's British, then okay. If you're like, Hawk School's British. I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Hawk School? Then you'd be like, I'm going to smack them, right?
Anyway,
just say yes.
That's a great little card game. If you're looking for a light little set collection game that plays 5 players, so
yep,
it's a good one. It's easy. It's super easy to teach.
Good times.
It's like a 5-minute teach at most. All I had to do was look up at how many cards we get in our hand and things like that.
This is one of those you just throw out there, and it's like really quick to play, and it's just silly fun. I like this one.
Archaeology. The new expedition.
By the way, I don't know if I want to play you in this again because you kept stealing my good card.
I'm good at this game. This is one of the games that I'm really good at.
You stole my stupid Pharaoh's mask.
I know. I did it intentionally.
You were a butt. Because you use like your poker voodoo and you're like, ha ha, you've got a good card. And I'm like, I don't like you, good sir. And this was then an internal conversation. I said this with my eyes. He read it. Don't worry. He knew.
That one gets an 8. We're up to the 8s. Number 11 is an 8. So let's move on to number 10, another 8. One of our newer games. We just got this in Kickstarter a while back and we got to play it. We played it twice, didn't we?
Yeah.
Played it twice.
We did.
You can't really tell from the crazy Kickstarter box. Let me try to do this so you can tell more what it is.
That's a wonderful.
It's a Wonderful Kingdom. This is the 2-player version of It's a Wonderful World. It uses a fantasy theme rather than a post-apocalyptic sci-fi future utopia, whatever we want to call it, theme. I enjoyed it. It's cool. I liked. I don't think Rebecca liked it as much as the other one. That's just my gut, because it takes It's a Wonderful World, and you pretty much play that game. Then it has modules that you add that tricks up the game. The particular module we played with, one of the modules we played with was called Quests. And you have to go out and do these quests that cost stuff. So you're collecting stuff. It's an engine building game. You're drafting cards. You're paying for cards. You're building this big giant engine, getting victory points for your cards. But as an aside, you have to do these, whatever the module. I thought you didn't complete the quest and you got very cranky.
Oh, no, I was pretending to be cranky.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't actually mad. No, I was just like,
I misread her anger for anger.
No,
Don't you throw it at me?
That's the pen cap.
Anyway,
That's all I have.
So the version we played had quests that you have. Basically, there's quests that you could do. There's 4 quests that you basically can pay your resources. Instead of paying for cards, you pay for the quests. And there's 4 quests. 3 of them just give you a benefit. So if you go out and do this quest, it gives you like a superpower that you can use for the rest of the game. But there's one quest, the final quest, that you have to do. If you do not complete that quest, you cannot win the game. You're basically, you score 0 points. Rebecca didn't complete the quest.
Wow, thanks for, throwing me out there.
I thought you didn't like it for that. I'm just warning people
No, you're right.
that it is
a little frustrating, but this was the first time we had tried it. So I think there's a few things I could have done differently, and I want to try some of the other module thingies.
Right, there's like 6 different modules.
I was annoyed by it, but I think I want to try it, you know what I mean? Like try it again and stuff and see what stuff to do differently.
There's like one module where you send little dudes out to fight. There's all sorts of weird modules that you can add. I think it's 6
Neutral.
4 modules. 4 modules. Why did I think 6? There's 4 different modules you can add. So it's a Wonderful World designed for 2 players with an add-on module that tricks the game up.
There you go.
So there you go. That's Wonderful Kingdom. I enjoyed it. It's I give it an 8. It's a good game.
No halvesies, huh?
No halvesies on this one. It's an 8.
Solid. You guys are right. It's kind of interesting how the box is very dark. Oh, because it says Legend.
That's the Kickstarter version. This is like the all-in crazy legendary Kickstarter version of stuff. I don't know.
Legends. Oh, does that make a mess? Don't mind me.
All right, let's move on to my number 9. Number 9, I give this an 8 as well. It's on your side.
My side. This one?
Yep. I like this game.
This one is great.
That's why I like this game. This is like flying under the radar, I think. It's a Phil Walker Harding game. No one's talking about it. It's getting no buzz.
What did they say? Praise be, right?
Praise be. Anyway,
Buzz Murph.
I like this game. I enjoy it quite a bit. For me to give an 8 to a light family weight.
This is medium.
It's family weight. It's family weight.
You gotta do quite a bit of stuff.
What's the age on this thing?
Well, they'd say like 3, so you don't eat the pieces or something.
Oh, it says 10.
Yeah, exactly. So shush you. It's medium.
Anyway, it's if you play Gingerbread House or some of his other polyomino game, it's very similar. You're stacking polyominoes up. You're creating this like landscape. You're collecting resources. You're feeding llamas. When you feed a llama, the little llama goes on your board. You have achievements, a tableau of achievements that you can opt into. Basically say, hey, I want to go for this achievement. And for the course of the game, you can try to go for it. The trick is, the earlier you opt into the achievement, the more points you're going to get. So you kind of got to go, oh, I think I'll do this. But the thing is, at any point in time, you can take that achievement off and move to somewhere else, but you're likely going to get less points. What's wrong?
Nothing.
What's going on?
Nothing. No, keep talking. You're explaining the game well.
Oh, did you say family game because it's family game on the box?
Shut up.
Are you covering it up with your hand?
I might be.
It's right here. It says family game.
Crap, it's on that side too. Y'all just have to read. Okay.
Anyway,
It's medium.
I enjoy this game quite a bit. We have Gingerbread House. It's right on the shelf right over there. This, to me, kills Gingerbread House. I like this one more than
This
Gingerbread
family
House.
game on the side here. I thought it said it across the top.
It says it on both sides and the bottom and everywhere else.
They're like family game. It's a family game.
Gamer family game.
There you go. Thank you.
A gamer family game.
They don't want to try to like single people out like that, but that's basically what this is. So,
It's a gamer family
you're
game.
not going to hand a family that's only played Monopoly this game.
No.
Okay,
no.
just saying.
No, but it's a gamer family game.
Yes, and it's fun. Absolutely fun.
Whatever that means, gamer family game. Anyway, I invented trademark. Ching. Anyway,
So nice.
Llama Land, it's a good one. I don't know why there's not getting much buzz. I don't know why no one's talking about it.
It's not bees, it's llamas. You're welcome. I dad joked you. And you can't do anything about it.
All right. Let's move on to my number 8.
That's
it gets an 8.
generous.
And my number 8 gets an 8. And this is another game we played with the infamous, he's not notorious. Nefarious Trogdor.
This was so much fun. Oh my
A couple
god.
people wanted that, so we love Telestrations. Can we play? And I said, no.
No, that's exactly what he did too. We didn't have anybody play. No, just kidding. This
No,
was
a couple
so much
people
fun.
walked up and said, we'd love Telestrations. And I said, sit down. You're playing. Let's do this.
You're pull up the chair. No, it was we were like, we're gonna go to bed soon. This will be our last game and stuff. We had so much fun and we kept playing. We're like, okay, a couple more rounds.
We did like 5 or 6 rounds of it. So
We did more than that.
more than that, 10.
Well, no, full rounds.
Full
Everybody
rounds.
did the,
We did like
yeah,
5 or
yeah,
6.
you're right.
5 or 6
You're right.
full rounds.
It was so much fun. This game is ridiculous, and we got, no, it was fun, and I think it's probably one of those things where now Trogdor may be scared to see into our minds a little bit, you know.
I love having Nessa in the mix because sometimes she doesn't these words, and so she just draws something that
It's just the generational gap thing,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
She just doesn't have the life experiences
Right.
to know what some of these
Right.
things are, and it's just fantastic. The stuff that she's like, well, I didn't
great.
know
I
this.
love
I
it.
think it's this, and I just drew this, and we're like, cool,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, we're not thinking on that wavelength, so you get these pictures, and you're like,
hey, she just walked by that infamous
Yeah.
Nessa.
The ghost.
Just walked by.
but she'd draw something. We're like, oh, what is this? Oh, but she'd draw something clearly, so
Yeah.
we'd all get derailed or something.
Right.
Or people would misinterpret what other people drew. And it was funny, too, because we'd have some people in our group that were clear artists that could draw things. None of those people are sitting
Oh yeah,
there.
one of the people that walked up was like
She was crazy
Leonardo
good.
da Vinci or
I
something.
know. What was that? Do you remember that one, Gardner? Like
She would pass the thing over.
I'd actually stop and be like, wow.
Oh my goodness! I want to take pictures of them. They're like
Right? And then we're drawing our stick
They got
people that you
stick
could
people with-
recognize. Oh, so good.
But she did something really cool. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names, but she did something really cool. What she did is she made a meeple for every game that she played.
Yeah,
and
she made out of construction paper.
Sign the game. So she'd write telestrations on a little paper, a little construction paper meeple, and we'd all sign our names. And then on her door, she had all the meeples of all the games she played. That was really cool.
Right, that was really cool.
Anyway, fun one, great family game. If you don't know it, you draw something, someone writes what they see, the next person draws what you wrote, and it goes around, and it goes from dog to like, skyscraper at the end.
Yeah, it's greatness. Now, Gardner, you had to remind me, the Alex Trebek thing, that was Nessa too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember it better?
Yes.
I just remember it as a big blur of hilarity at this point. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, because that's right. She didn't know, she didn't remember who Alex Trebek was.
Right.
Because she hadn't watched enough Jeopardy. I'm sorry I didn't educate the child properly, I guess. And so she drew, what did she do with that?
I don't remember.
Oh, I can't remember. She did something very creative with it. It was really funny. But yeah, it's just great.
All right, let's move on to my number 7. Where is it? So I give this an 8 as well. Rebecca, I bet, gives this better than an 8, so we'll let her talk about it because it's her game. It was a gift for me to her. We played this twice in a row.
Uh-huh.
We played her new big giant mega box of death of Millennium Blades.
Did you see that? 10 out of 10, baby. Woo!
Yeah, you give us a 10? You give us a 10? I don't think you
I might.
Really?
I'll have to think about that, but
So anyway.
Yep. This game is so meta, baby. So meta. You're playing a game that's playing a game that's playing a game. It's like a game within a game. You are playing as a person who is a collectible card game player. And you are building up your deck and trading for cards and doing all these things. And then you're going and performing in a tournament. And you're trying to win said tournament. And then you go back and you're like, tweak your deck and try to do better. And then you go to another tournament. Okay, I love play CCGs, but they're too expensive and it's time consuming. And so therefore I suck at them and don't play them anymore. This gives me like that fix without actually having to invest in $10 billion for an actual CCG and going to tournaments and all that. And it's just so much fun. I really like how the cards all have some different abilities and uniqueness, and you can find some really cool combos with it. This thing has 10. This thing is chock full of cards. You see how big this is.
It's completely full.
It's completely, like, this is chock full of cards. I can barely hear that. That's all the movement you can get. There's so many card combos. Every time we play this, it's completely different stuff. You're choosing different decks to mix and mingle with each time. So it's almost like playing a bunch of Dominion with all the different expansions. You're not going to have the same kind of combination again, probably, right? It kind of has that feel here. Every game is going to be completely unique.
So here's
like
I
card
have
games?
2 comments. I have 2 comments to make. Do you want the positive comment or the negative comment?
Throw out the negative first. Let's get it out of the way.
They're both negative, but it's 1,000 out of 10.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, you can blame Zaris. He gave you crap.
Oh, it is. It's hiding behind the dude's head.
But anyway.
Yeah, well, that's accurate. It's accurate.
So here's my thing.
again.
I would like this game more if it was easier to trade between players.
Well, we've only been playing it 2-player though lately.
But even so, even when we played 3-player, we didn't trade between players. So the dog is like wanting in and out crazily. Anyway, you're so busy buying from the market and trading with the market and doing all this stuff with the market. It's almost a distraction to stop and go, hey, do you have any of these cards?
No, that's a good point because it's timed.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so slow to trade that you don't want to waste the time to do it because I go, hey, do you have any of these kind of cards? And meanwhile, Rebecca's like, I got time to talk to you. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like,
true.
And so we don't even try to trade after the first.
Not usually, yeah.
We don't even try to. And I think it would be more interesting if it was more conducive to players trading with each other.
That might be something too, partly because I know the last game you and I had completely different tactics. I think if we were playing more similar styles at that point, it might have been easier to trade. I don't know if that's something with more players.
It seems like you're like putting on the brakes.
To do. Yeah.
You're putting on the brakes of the game and going, okay, do you have any of these cards? And then you have to stop what you're doing to go, maybe. And then when you have one, it's like, okay, what do you want for it? I don't know. What do you have? I mean, it just completely stalls the game out to do that trading part. But anyway,
Right.
That's that.
Right.
I just thought when I envisioned this game, in my mind, I'm thinking back when I played Magic and we would go to the thing and buy a bunch of booster packs, and we go back to our apartment and go, hey, I got 2 of these cards. Does anyone need this? And,
you're right.
That aspect of the CCG is missing from this game.
Yeah,
in my
it's too
opinion.
rushed, that part of it. But I don't know how they would amend that except to take off the time limit, which is something you could
do, but then that's part of the thing. The thrill of the game is that quick rush of figuring
Well, you got to pick. I think at that point you're going to have to make a decision. If you want that, then you may have to tweak something.
So I'm dinging it for that reason, because I like trading in games.
I get that.
And you're only trading with the market. You're not trading with other players. At least in the 3 games we played, I think we didn't trade a single card. In the 3 games we played.
Probably.
I don't think we traded a single card.
If we did, it was only in the first game, and it was like 1. Yeah.
All right. It is a really cool game, but that part of it, that part of it's missing for me.
It's a great game. I love that.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, the meta aspect of it kind of fascinated me. I'm not gonna lie. And the first time when the game first came out, I was like hesitantly excited, because it was like, the concept sounds amazing, but that's either going to be really awesome or really stink, And fortunately, I feel like it was really awesome. It was a lot of fun. But like Hunter said, I think, you know what though, there's also 3 rounds of you doing trading and stuff. You could, I mean, if you like it that much, you could house rule like round 2, we trade. But you know what I mean? Like you
do
fudge the
something.
time. So
Or you do 2 minutes of trade and you exclusively trade with other players.
Yeah,
or something like
you could totally tweak that with. Anyway, I like that because there is that kind of flexibility, because it is, again, it's styling it after CCG players.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. If you're like that or like the idea of that, you really should give it a try. I think they did a really good job with it.
All right.
Or come play with us.
So let's move on to my number 6.
It's a halvesies?
I give it an 8.5.
What just happened? What'd you guys start?
It's my halvesy dance.
I know.
It's the new halvesy dance. Where is it? It is here. Creature Comforts.
Oh my gosh.
8.5. We got to play Creature Comfort. It's
game.
not out yet, but the Dice Tower had a copy, so we tried it out because ours is soon to arrive this
And
month.
soon is a nebulous sort of thing.
This month-ish. But we played it with the infamous
Notorious.
nefarious, notorious Nessa played with us. So we played Creature Comforts. This is the first board game she's played in. I don't even remember the last time she played a board game. Anyway, we played Creature Comforts. It is a cool little family. No, it's not. This one isn't family weight. They call it family or kids board games. This is a little higher than family weight.
I was gonna say this is medium weight.
This is a medium weightish game. It's a dice placement game. So basically, you're rolling some 2 dice that they call your family dice, I guess, your own personal dice, and then there's a shared set of 4 dice that everyone uses, and you're going out and doing worker placement things. But it's got some interesting little twists. One twist is you put out workers of all the places you want to go. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to go over here and do this, and I want to go do that, and you have a set of like 3 or 4 workers. I can't remember. 4 workers.
Yeah,
I think.
you got to plan ahead.
And basically, I want to do this, this, and this, and this. And you've already rolled your dice, so you know 2 of the dice you have. But you're gambling on what the community dice are going to be. So if I go to this spot, I need a 5 and a 6.
That part's rough sometimes.
And I only have a 5 on my die. So I got to hope I roll a 6. There's ways to mitigate that.
I was going to say, but the cool thing is there's like a...
Chump charity?
Yeah, like a chump charity. Oh, you didn't get that, but you get this cool prize, which helps you mitigate the dice further for the next time. Which, honestly, I think that part of it you could say, okay, this is family weight, because they don't just be like, you're out, like a lot of games would do. There's
no competition for spaces. The only competition is for collecting cards. So basically, what you're doing is you're building a little cottage, a little inn for the visitors to your town to stay in, and you're basically making it, sprucing it up. You're giving little chairs and little blankets and little things to make it look nice. It is so cute.
And no, it's not really it's probably gamer family weight, like Hunter
Nessa
said.
played it, no problem.
Nessa played it fine. So yeah, if you're wanting to introduce it to someone,
she's 10.
Yeah, to get ready to play like Everdell or something. This one doesn't have heavy duty combos. It's more like, what it reminds me of is like summer camp. You know how they have the cards that are like, this pairs well with this.
Right.
Well, it's really obvious on the card. There's not a lot of reading.
Right.
It'll just have that, and it'll say this pairs well with this. So like soup goes well with bread.
Right.
And so you see the bread card, and you're like, oh, this is cool, and then you get extra points. So it's real. it's like a simplified, like almost an introduction to comboing cards and
Right.
stuff, like you were saying, Corley, with Everdell.
Yep.
That would be really
it's
cool way to do it.
Everdell light. That's a good way to describe
that's
it.
really good.
Yeah, it's
So
Everdell light. That's
you
a good way
might-
to describe it.
And the theme is stinking adorable. The art's really cute. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, Corley, I think that would be a win.
It's an amazing
So,
game. I really
yeah.
enjoyed it. I didn't give it a 9 just because it's maybe too light.
But
Ish for me. For me, it's too light, but it's a good mid-weight family weight.
it totally
game.
is. And neutral, you might, I mean, depending on how old your kiddos are, it may or may not be too much for them. I don't know. You might.
It really did. Like, it's hard to say.
it's
It's really
so
hard to say.
just
I mean,
the age
you
and how
need
much they
you need to
game.
understand how the cards work. Basically, you how the worker placement works, how the dice placement
Well,
works.
and just the foresight to kind of plan out what you're going to do for
Correct.
the turn. That's probably the hardest part
Where to put your
because
workers, yep.
they have to deal with their dice might not work,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Right.
But if you can, it's one of those things you might want to think about. But I think you could easily work up to it too.
Yeah, and it's cool. That's in the game I really enjoy. The main place where you're putting your workers, every round it changes.
Yeah.
So it's basically going through seasons. So new cards come up every round that are your worker. You have standard spots on the board that you always can do, but then there's a randomized series of cards that I find that interesting because you can't just go. You don't get a rut of I'm gonna go to this spot and I'm gonna do that spot, and then I'm gonna go to this spot and do that spot because the new spots come up to give you new benefits each time.
Like Neutral's talking, his kiddos are 6 and 8. What you might do, what we used to do, or 7 and 8, I got you. What we used to do if we weren't sure if Nessa would like a game like that is we'd play teams, and like Nessa would sit with me and we'd like converse together and decide together what we would do on the turn. And then as she started to figure out how things worked, I just kind of let her sort of take over more and more of how
we did that a lot when she was younger. We weren't sure whether she would be able to play it.
Your kids are at the perfect age to give that a shot.
And if it ends up that you're doing everything and they're not really doing it, then you know, okay, they're not ready for it yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of fun in that way, too. Then if they really dig into it or are enjoying certain aspects of it, you can kind of let them do that part of it. I don't know. It's kind of fun to play some of these games with kids because sometimes they kind of amaze you at what they grasp and what they figure out right away, too. Or maybe they'll fixate on one thing they really love, and you're like, ooh, but I have a game like that. It's so might want to give it a shot.
All right.
It's pretty cool. Fun times, fun times.
Move on to my number 5. I give it a 9.
Woo!
A 9. Rebecca's happy this gets a 9 because it's one of her favorite games.
Yes.
So we got to play this with the very British, very English Hawk Skull.
That was fun. I'm so glad we got to introduce that to you because Hawk Skull had played Jump Drive.
Jump Drive, which we have sitting on our shelf right over there.
And so it was funny to say, well, this is like that, but not as efficient.
Yeah.
Because, Jump Drive, if you haven't played it, is like this, but they streamlined it.
They condensed a 30-minute game down into a 15-minute game.
Yeah, basically they're like, boom, you can go through it. And there's a little bit of clunk in this game, a little bit, that they got rid of.
There's lots of symbols and things.
Yeah, makes it harder.
And my teach wasn't the best in the world because I was like,
you were loop-tastic, baby.
I was not feeling good. So
yeah, but you did it. You powered
through and played some games.
Oh, we had some fun. We had a good time.
We got through it. But it went well. It was like we're all within a few points of each other. So
yeah, it was nice.
It went really well.
Nice game.
Anyway, it's a tableau building game. Basically, you're selecting actions simultaneously. It's the Puerto Rico thing. If you select the action, you get a benefit. If you piggyback off someone else's action, you don't get as good of a benefit. You're basically drawing cards. You're using cards to pay and put down more cards. You're building this tableau. The tableau makes your actions more powerful, gives you ways to get points, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's been around forever.
It has.
When year does it come out? 2007. Ancient.
Is it really 2007? Wow.
That's my number 5. Race.
And we got it not too horribly long. It was what, 2008? I think we played it. It was only a year or two old when we first played this. This is one of our first gamery games we got. Yep.
You need to throw that away.
What?
Move on to my number 4. Oh, I think, let me look.
Hawk Skull, you're so nice. Said it was a good teach. You're being so nice.
My top 4 are all Cult of the New games because I love me playing some new games.
Oh, geez. What'd you play now?
All right, move on to number 4. We just played they're all brand new games, so we played them fairly recently. Mm-hmm. It is Origins First Builders.
Aliens
Influencing ancient civilizations to do things.
Whatever. The theme.
Yeah,
it's a great idea, but it's totally just, it could be whatever.
it's pretty abstract.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a dice placement kind of game where you're basically, if you've played Teotihuacan, it's where your dice spin. Every time you use them, they spin up. They get a higher number, and when they get to number 6, they leave the game. They become an advisor, which gives you points and makes your one worker. You have one just regular worker guy that can go anywhere. He makes him more powerful. So you put that worker, he can go anywhere, and you have dice that you can create. They're called your population, and you use those guys to go out and do different worker placement things. You're drafting little tile things. You're building out a tableau. That gives you some benefits. It's a cool little abstract-y civilization game. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with that too.
So if you like civ games that are this reminds me, it gives me the kind of the same weight, same feel as Dominations.
Yes, I can totally get that.
Feel. You're basically building out a tableau. It gives you powers, just like the tableau in the technologies do in Dominations.
I want to play this again just so I have a better fix of it in my brain. I think I liked Dominations a hair more.
I like Dominations better than this, I think. Too.
Yeah, but I want to play it again. That's
a good one. It's a good one if you like a little kind of abstract-y dice placement, tableau building.
Excellent.
It's a cool little game. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Plays in about an hour for us, 2 players.
Yeah, for a 2-player. Yeah,
about an hour.
So
good.
I'm a little disappointed the theme isn't more prevalent in the game.
Yeah,
but
you really don't feel like you're like aliens influencing civilizations at all.
I mean, we talked smack about it, but that was mostly us just being dumb.
It's a cool idea. It's a cool concept.
I like the concept, but I mean, it's one of those things like, what do you always say? No one reads the back of the box. That's the only time you're really going to feel the theme. So.
If someone taught you this game and didn't tell you the theme, you would have no clue.
Yep.
What the theme was.
Right.
You know, it feels like a abstract civ game.
Right.
So.
That's true.
All right, let's move on to my number 3. Where is it? Oh, we played this one this weekend. Our copy. We played the previously. It's a Dice Tower Retreat. We played it.
Yep.
And our copy came in, and we played our copy.
Finally.
Of Tabanusi.
Oh my gosh, this game is so cool. So cool.
Let's step back a moment before we talk about the game.
Oh, geez, here we go.
So I had a rough weekend this weekend. I went to this story time. I like telling stories. Story time. So I had a kind of rough weekend because I injured my ankle in a freak sleeping accident.
I don't think you did it sleeping. I think you just didn't realize you did it.
So I somehow in my sleep, I'm old. I sprained my ankle slightly in my sleep somehow. Okay. Don't ask me how.
Jumping jacks.
Anyway, so I was injured. I wasn't feeling good. So we a lot of times when we're not feeling good, we binge on YouTube videos. So I found these quiz games. So I found these quiz show things where it's like a video. It asks you a trivia question and it tells you the answer. Rebecca annihilated me at every category of every trivia. So I'm even feeling worse now. So I got injured foot.
Oh my God.
Rebecca's destroying me at trivia.
Pity party.
So it's like, okay, I need to feel better about myself. So I pull out this heavy Euro game. I'm like, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to win me a heavy Euro game. It's going to make me feel good about myself. And she destroyed me. Needless to say, we're culling this game. No.
What?
No. Story time's over. This is it's one of the T games. It's and you said it's in where's Ur? I don't even know where Ur is.
Mesopotamia, isn't it? Am I crazy? Isn't it Mesopotamia? Somebody tell me.
Anyway,
pretty sure it's Mesopotamia.
One of the T games, ancient civilization game. This one reminds me a lot of Tekenu in the fact that there is regions of the board that you're going to do different things, but the regions influence each other. What?
The pets have gone mad. Oh. Smokey is meowing at me randomly. Okay, anyway, sorry.
So the regions,
Hopefully
you
you
influence each other. What this one has, each of them have a little bit of a gimmick. The gimmick in this game is it's a kind of a dice drafting, not really kind of game. So basically, you're going to put your worker on a spot, and you're going to do something in that region. You're going to do 2 actions in that region. But when you go there, you're going to take a die. There's going to be some dice out there in that region, and that die has obviously it's a dice. It has a number on it, and that tells you what the region you're going to go to on your next turn. So when you draft that die, you're going to go. Let's say I take a 3 off of off the green region. They have different colors. I take a 3 off, so now I'm going to go to the 3 region on my next turn. So that dice, not only does it tell you where you're going, it's also a green resource that you're going to use to do things with that die. So that's kind of cool, the fact that you kind of got a pre-plan where you're going to go for your next turn. And you could conceivably go to a region to get a die to get you to another region that you want to go to. So it's kind of like just traveling between regions, and you can pay resources to go wherever you want, but those resources are pretty tight, so you don't want to do that. So if I want to go to region 2, I might go over to region 4, which has a 2 die that's going to get me to region 2 to do something, which I find interesting. The cat wants away.
Now he does. He was chilling for a minute. You're
interrupting my show.
It's like pet show and tell night. They're all crazy. All right, go on.
Anyway, this is a good one. If you like the T games, this one will feel familiar. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's a 2-hour game. It's difficult to teach. It's just
It may
if you
be my
like
favorite.
Teotihuacan and Tekenu and Tawatinsuyu and Zolkin and games like that, you'll like this one as well. So there you go.
That's right.
Banusi, she destroyed me. It was like wasn't even close. She went into my builder of Ur and slapped him around.
I said,
and I went to bed sad and wounded and
Coral,
feeling
you made
bad
a good
about
point. You could just feel happy that you have a smart wife.
I do like that part. Just not all the time.
Sorry.
I gotta feel smart sometimes.
Oh, next time I'll
Besides wearing a hat like this.
You're clearly worried about that.
Let's move on to my number 2. I give this one a 9 as well.
Humble, guys.
Another new hotness game, and that is Boone Lake. Boone Lake, the latest and greatest from the infamous. I'm saying that a lot tonight.
You are.
Alexander Pfister of Great Western Trail and Maracaibo and Hong Kong, Blackout Hong Kong, and other assorted games. This is a good one. I like this one. This is instantly up in the upper half of my top 100, maybe somewhere around there.
All right.
Love this game. It's really, really fun. It's a kind of a action selection game. So you have, it's interesting. It has like a little board.
Imagine a board game with a board.
It's a little tiny board that it's a community board. Everyone's going to be using this, and it has a series of planks that are different actions that you're going to take. So it's like, I think 7, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different actions that you can select from.
Really like that aspect of the game.
And you basically say, I'm going to take this action that's like in the 3rd position from the top. The higher the action is up the thing, the more movement you're going to have on this. You're traveling down a river with a boat, and you get benefits as you go. And traveling down that river quickly, it can be good because you get some really cool benefits if you're the first one to finish going down the river each, and it's 2 halves of a game. But you take that action and you do it has 2 halves. So the first half of the action is your action that you're going to take. And then the second half is usually a communal action that everyone gets to take. There's one powerful action that you don't get the second half of. But for the most part, you do a major action and then everyone gets a sub-action off of that thing. So everyone's interested in what everyone's doing. You're not taking a turn and then it goes around the table and you're taking another turn. You're getting actions on everyone else's turn as well.
It's a lot of. I love that aspect of the game. Like it's just fun.
It's really cool.
It's really fun.
And it really irksome when the person right before you takes the action you want, because when you do that action, it comes off and goes all the way to the bottom.
Like it's expensive.
And then you actually have to pay victory points to do the money.
now you're
I think
on
it's
plan
victory
B.
points. You have to pay victory
I'm
points to
too
do the
miserly.
actions that are at the bottom. So you get lots of movement, less
Yes.
movement, less
Yes.
movement, and then you're paying victory points at the bottom.
dearly.
And then you have a double-sided player board that has all these little buildings on it that you're going to be building out on a map. And as you take buildings off, you're getting victory points when you do scoring. Lots of things. There's 2 tracks you're moving up on that give you different benefits and victory points. It's just this
It's very fun.
is button up against Great Western Trail
What?
as my favorite Alexander Pfister game. I need to play it again to be sure, but they're right there together for me.
Question, did we play, refresh my memory because I don't even remember what I ate for lunch. Did we play with the solo bot thing, or how did we play the...
We played a straight 2-player game.
We just played straight 2-player. There you go, Underground.
Straight 2-player game. We didn't play with there's 2 ways to play.
Yeah, there's 2 different ways you can have the
We played
bot thing.
straight 2-player, and it worked just fine.
Yeah, it was great.
We were actually, I think you add the bot in to make the game board a little more crowded. We were competing for stuff.
Yeah.
Even with just
We didn't have
without that
issue.
going on.
Maybe we were just extra aggressive that day. I don't know. But it worked. It worked great.
Love it. It's about hour 15 for us, maybe.
Okay.
Hour 15, somewhere in that range for 2 players, and more obviously more with more players.
Yeah.
But even with more players, like I said, you're getting to do stuff on other people's turns, so it's not as. A lot of these Euro games, it's like Rebecca takes a turn, Fred takes a turn, Joe takes a turn, then finally I get to take a turn, and then I got to wait all the way. This one, Rebecca takes a turn, and then I get to do something. We get to do something, and then next person takes a turn, and we get to do something.
I like that seems to be kind of a trend lately, where there's a lot of games doing that to keep everybody interactive in the game. It's really
especially in these Euro games where it's the turns can be a little long. This one I didn't really feel that, but yeah, it actually helped. I enjoy that, and like you said, a lot of games are doing that now. So it's a good one.
It is a good one. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted at the very beginning when you first started talking about this because everyone was making jokes in there.
Yeah.
And don't be Hunter, and don't be sour, and don't, Anyway, I threw you guys under the bus. I tattled on you.
I'm mostly joking.
Mostly. Oh, you are such a troll.
And the winner! We made it! The winner! Ow, I just hit my hat. That hurt. The winner of the day!
Oh, okay.
This is a 9. I almost gave it a 9.5. I thought about it, but I kept it at a 9 until I played again.
Okay.
The winner of the month and a half since we last talked.
I can see why.
Merchants of the Dark Road!
Wait, shortcut.
Merchants of the Dark Road.
This is fun.
This game is good.
This is fun.
I just made a decision.
What?
9.5.
Whoa! What is happening?
9.5.
You guys encouraged
I give it a 9.5.
What? Wow.
I gotta take
really
this hat
did
off. Ugh.
You know, next time I will try to tell you to buy one that fits better, but there was no talking to you.
I had to have a hat. I wanted a hat. Anyway, Merchants of the Dark Road. Awesome game. So, actually, Elf Creek Games was one of the sponsors of the Dice Tower Cruise. Elf Creek Games and Arcane Wonders sponsored the Dice Tower Cruise. We're going to talk about some little freebies we got. Didn't get many freebies. We got some freebies. Awesome game.
Yes.
It's really cool. It's got so many things I like. It's got a cool action selection rondelle. You got a little wagon. You're going around in a circle in the town doing different actions. You're getting resources. You're picking up goods to deliver. You're picking up people to help you deliver the goods, and you're actually delivering those people too. Eventually, you build up enough. You get enough goods, enough stuff. You're going to head out on the dark road. You're going to go sell either you're going to go to visit there's ruins that you can visit, or you can actually go out to towns and deliver your goods and drop people off and get stuff like that. But what's cool about this game is you do that when you go out to deliver your goods or whatever, you announce to the table that I am journeying on the dark road, and you decide whether you want to go with them or not. So you can basically, if you're in a situation where you're ready to sell or you got some stuff to sell where that person's going, you jump on and you get to go too. So it's almost like similar to Boone Lake. You get kind of an action to a tag along action. You can go and deliver goods and stuff to that town you're going to. Or the person say, hey, I know a shortcut. That means you're going to the ruins. And they can come along with you and do stuff there as well. So it's really cool. This game's really cool.
This is fun.
And you
super fun.
So many little things. It's got dice. There's dice actions that you can do.
Yeah.
There is when you get your goods,
Cool art.
when you're collecting your goods to go deliver, you actually have a little storage. Your little wagon board got a little storage section for your goods, and you've actually Tetris in your pizzas, pizzas.
I like it.
Could
Are
be
you hungry?
pizzas. Tetris in your pieces into that section. So it's a little grid, and you basically, some of the more valuable goods are larger, so they take up more space in there. So you got to kind of mix and match and move things around and then fit them into your little storage area. So many great things about this game. I enjoyed it a lot. Very
cool. So Underground, you liked Boone Lake better than Merchants, huh?
Better than this?
Interesting.
We're pretty close.
I could see it though, because it just kind of depends on what kind of things you like a little bit more.
I just like this one because it got that kind of adventure-y feel to it. It feels like you're actually going. There's hardly any dangers to going on the dark road. I mean, you do an encounter card that bad things and good things can happen.
But it seems like most of the time we're not too punishing. Maybe we just lucked out. I don't know.
For whatever reason, Boone Lake felt like a Euro game to me. This one felt like, for me anyway, it felt like I was playing like Dungeons and Dragons or something. I like going and collecting goods and putting them on a wagon. I'm hiring some adventurers to guard my wagon. And I'm journeying out on the road, and something may happen on my way to town. I deliver some goods. I get some more money.
Yeah.
It just I got into this theme more, and it really felt. It's not. Most people would go, "Oh, it's not thematic." I find theme in games that a lot of people don't find theme in. And this one just really felt thematic to me.
Yeah, it did. It was fun. I think we enjoyed role-playing for this game a lot, too. That helps. That always helps, being silly.
Hey.
I know a shortcut.
I know a shortcut. It actually tells you in the rules you're supposed to say that.
Yeah, you're supposed to actually say that, and I love that.
I went up to the Elk Creek Games guy. He was at basically when you check in, he was there. And I walked up to him, I said, "Hey, I know a shortcut." He laughed.
Yeah.
He was doing demos the whole cruise of the game. So anyway, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Obviously, it's my favorite game I played the last couple months, and I want to play it again because I want to play it again.
There you go. A couple questions I saw in the chat. Have we played Honey Buzz Fall Flavors? That is apparently the expansion.
we. That's the royal we.
No, it's pretty
we are on the outsies for expansions.
Yeah. Not feeling expansions again. We just kind of expansioned out, so we may not get that one.
Yeah, we don't get a lot. We're finding what happens, and it's just the way we play games. Is we'll play a game, we'll enjoy it quite a bit, but then we won't circle back to it for a long time. And if it has an expansion, we're like, let's just play the base game.
Yeah.
And then we don't play it again for a while, and we go back to it, and it's like.
With a few exceptions like Zion.
There's some exceptions, but for the most part, we don't buy a lot of expansions anymore.
Yep. So
for whatever reason,
we're kind of slowing on that. So, but not that I don't think it would be fun, but it's probably not one we're going to buy. Ark Nova. So yes,
I wanted to play that so bad. It was set up at the Dice Tower Cruise the entire time. It was a hot game,
and it was busy.
It was played nonstop. I assume like 2 or 3 in the morning. It wasn't played.
Probably not. We probably could have got.
Every time I walked into the gaming library, there was a group playing it. Every single time. I bet I could have horned in on a game if I really wanted to, but it was played the entire cruise. Like literally, if there was people in the game room, they were playing Ark Nova.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and our copy's coming sometime, whenever they start delivering in the U.S.
That nebulous time frame again.
If you bought it directly from Capstone, which I did not do, you probably already have your copy, maybe. I bought it from a game store, so it's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it was one of those things, too, where it would have been cool if Hunter could have sniped the rules and read it so that we could have played it later, but again, it was always being actively played, so it wasn't like that worked out well.
And I wasn't 100%. For half the cruise, I was like under the weather, so I wasn't really wanting to learn a big, heavy game anyway. No. If you looked at all the games we played on the cruise, most of them were light games, or games that we knew really well.
Yep. So it kind of, we kind of, was like, well, eventually we're going to get this played because everybody's talking about we had to play it. So, all right, it's getting late, and I see things on the table you want to discuss.
Last thing for the night. Let's do it. Where's the button?
Uh-oh, we have a button, guys. Hey!
We didn't freeze, but OBS crashed.
That was cool.
That's new.
That was cool. Hey, okay. I'll come back. Hi,
All right,
Smokey.
so OBS just completely crashed. It just
wasn't
shut
the
down.
internet. It wasn't freezing.
It wasn't the camera freezing. It was OBS. But anyway, are we going next year? Maybe.
Kind of up in the air at this point. A lot of factors in the works.
So I'm gonna say it real quietly. Here we go. It will just be me and Rebecca next time. Otherwise, I don't want to go because I want to play lots of games and go to shows and do fun stuff.
You make it sound like you didn't do anything fun.
I'm joking, but we did mostly family stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part. So
We're thinking about maybe.
I don't know if you heard all that.
We haven't had a us trip in.
Yeah,
Eons.
If we go next year, it's just going to be us. The kids will get to do something. They'll go to like a cool Great Wolf Lodge, if you know what that is in Texas. It's a crazy indoor water park thing. They'll do something cool, but we're going to do the thing because we want to do stuff. We want to do crazy stuff like zip lining through the forest and junk like that, and the kids won't go.
Well,
do.
one of the children won't do that.
The entire family can't do that, and I don't want to split the family up
doing that.
to do different things. So.
Yep. They say we heard you.
So if we go again, it will be.
Yeah, probably.
And the kids will do something.
Morning, Zachy.
We'll do something fun. All right. So that's that answer that.
Other overnight person.
I got distracted. Anyway, new stuff. All right. So on the cruise, I can't reach them.
That's okay.
We got a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, the T-shirt thing.
This cruise T-shirt. Whole family got little Dice Tower cruise
Yep,
T-shirts.
that's the cruise T-shirt. They're really cool.
And then we got free stuff.
Oh here. Oh.
That's nothing. That's not. I don't care about that.
Dice Tower cruise. It's just.
We got a
Which?
game from Arcane Wonders that I was going to play at the hotel, but then we got distracted and didn't play. So social deduction game, kind of family weight. I want to say it is. This is a 6+, 8+ family weight social deduction game. Basically, you're trying to get out of a house or something weird, and the neighbor's trying to prevent it. Or I don't know what's going on with that.
What? Hold up. What? No, let me see.
Your creepy neighbor has something locked in their basement, and it's up to you and your friends to reveal their plot.
nice.
You need to use objects you can find around the neighbor's house to locate 3 different keys. But there's one problem. Some of your friends are secretly villainous neighbors in disguise.
Oh, it's based off of a video game. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Joker. I thought someone had mentioned that before, and I did not realize that. Okay. You know what? Now I can see the graphics. It totally looks like it.
And then Board and Dice, I want to say, I think they were sponsors of the cruise too. They gave a little
like 3 sponsors.
It's like this Book of Rituals. It's actually a
Book of Rituals.
kind of an escape room.
Yeah, it's
style.
an escape room in a book. Puzzle-y
Escape room
thing.
in a book,
It takes an app
which
to.
Rebecca will play without me.
That is so true. But it looks really cool. I cheated. Actually, not cheated. I haven't loaded the app yet, but there's a couple things on the very beginning I figured out without it, but it looks like you can't really progress without some guidance from the app. Or maybe I'm just dense. It's possible it's both.
I don't know what it is, but it's escape room-esque, so I am out.
It looks like a lot of fun, and it's got like little cool, like, here's what the alphabet is, and like all this. It's really a hoot. It looks like a lot of fun. So I can't wait
That's
to
from
play with
Board and
this.
Dice. They make all the T games, right? Am I right? What's the back? Look at the back of the Tabanusis at Board and Dice.
Board and Dice.
Yeah, they make all the T games. So
Yeah.
among other things.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. This was a fun little. I love how they have this set up as Book of Rituals. My Latin kids are gonna love this.
Anyway, and we did have one purchase that we made while we last talked.
Literary abuse.
We just talked about expansions and we don't buy them, but I actually bought one.
Well, that's because this is one of your babies. This is like one of your favorite games.
Dune Imperium,
Hypocrite.
Rise of Ix, and we got the Game Nerds. We actually physically went to Game Nerds because I was hoping they had a storefront, but they don't. It's just a warehouse.
It is a very nondescript warehouse. You drive by it and never know it's there.
It's just a warehouse on a corner of a warehouse district, and you walk in, and there's just a
nice little.
It's like a little office, like sitting area, and then there's a little window. You walk up and go. You ring a little bell. Give me my game. And some dude behind there says, "Here's your game." And that's how it works. So. You actually can save on shipping, but it probably costs as much. It's like an hour drive from us, Game Nerd.
Yeah, fun, whatever.
But I want to go check it out just to say I went there, and I did. So
do the Book of Rituals live on stream. Oh my gosh!
Together, that would be
Underground. You guys don't want to see the therapy involved with no. Game Nerds Know is in the Dallas-Fort Worth
It's in
area.
Texas. It's in Plano, Texas.
Plano, Texas. Not too far from us.
Yeah, it's about an hour drive from our house.
Yep.
I completely forgot. We played some other game. Rebecca played some games without me. I completely skipped them.
You did.
So
How
let's
dare
go through them
How
quickly, and
dare
then
you,
we're
good
going in the evening.
How dare you, good sir?
How dare I? So Rebecca, I actually played 2 turns of this game, and then Rebecca took over because I had to deal with stuff with the hotel. Anyway, she played
We don't talk about Bruno.
Port Royal.
I did. Do you have a little? Oh, good. You put it up there. That was a fun little game. I liked that one, Trogdor, and I see why. I think you said the other 2 people that you had taught to play it ended up going and getting it. I totally get that because this is one of those games where I love the multi-use cards. You're playing and doing stuff, but on the back side of the card is
Trogdor.
I said Trogdor.
Oh, this is a Hulk skull. Okay.
No. On the back of the card, it's got the coin, so it's like money. If you aren't using the card, you flip it over and it's money. It's one of those kind of games. I love that because then you just keep. Oh, thank you. You keep you flipping your cards and doing stuff, and it's one of those you pull out cards. You're trying not to bust. You want to get a certain amount of things, and you're trying to build up kind of a little engine, and just really super fun, cute little piratey theme. Really quick and easy to pick up on the game. And it's really quick and interactive, so it's one of those things where it's not like if the person's doing the stuff on their turn, you're going to just take a nap or whatever. You're all kind of, you can get cards and stuff. Everybody cycles through, and the turns are really quick. Super fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, actually, I only played a couple turns, but I can tell it's my kind. I like pressure luck games.
Yeah, I was going to say this is perfect.
So I may
for
have
you.
to play it again.
I think you do. I think you do.
And then
I was actually bummed I didn't get to play more of it.
with the aforementioned
Family-
Hawk skull,
Family was
Rebecca and the family
We
played
did.
a game without me again.
We did.
What was I doing? I don't even remember.
Dealing with the rental car.
Oh, I was taking the rental car back.
Yeah.
Yep. That is a blank slate.
This is such a cute game. So Hawk Skull had brought this one, and this is a great one to carry in those quivers or whatever. In fact, I think that's what you had, didn't you, Hawk Skull? I think it was a little quiver for.
No, because I think he had the board, because it has a big board. I think he had.
He had it in there too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had a bigger quiver.
That's
So
what's
yeah,
going
it's
on.
like this thing was so much fun because it's a real simple, fun little party game where you know how like just one in those you're writing clues and stuff and that sort of thing. You're trying to you get like a word blank slate, so you'll have like blank ticket, and you all fill in what you think would go there. So I might put meal ticket, and you might put baseball game ticket or who knows what, something, right? And then we flip them out, and it's one of those games you get more points if some people, but not everybody matches kind of thing. So you're trying to like find something that you think somebody will have in common with you. It was a lot of fun. And it's another one of those games where the scoreboard kind of keeps you, you could play it with the scoreboard. You honestly could just keep doing it. In fact, I think, didn't you say, Hawk Skull, you've commonly played it without the scoreboard and just everybody plays it until they're sick of it. It's one of those party games where...
Just to see who you match with?
Just to see who you match with. You could do it that way. But it's also fun. It's really quick because I think it goes to like 13 points or something. It's really short. So you could play it and then end up playing multiple games of it really quickly too. So really cute game. Nice casual sit while you're sitting and waiting game was perfect for that. So... adore it. Anybody could play this game. This is another one that you could introduce to literally anyone and have a lot of fun with.
So, New American Underground is asking about, I think, Feast for Odin.
Okay.
Play the base game first because it has a bazillion worker placement spots.
Oh my gosh.
So you don't want to add more. I would play the base game first. That's just me. Unless you're crazy. And then play the whole thing.
Hey, somebody's asking, is that a parental warning on the box cover on the screen? On blank slate?
I don't think so.
Now, I don't think so. I mean, you could take it.
Hold on, let's look. Hold on, give me a
That's a
second.
good question. Hunter's going to look.
Let's look.
You going to zoom in? You going to zoom in? Let's look.
See if I can do it from way over here. No. It's number of players and how
It's
long
the
the game
player count
lasts
and
and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, on Port Royal.
Oh, Port Royal? Which one number is that?
I don't know. Now I have to peek. I don't remember.
No, it's just
can't
like this game's amazing or something goofy.
No, that looks like a warning. What is that? Let's see. Special features. No.
No, it's just saying that it looks like it has a.
Would it? Yeah, I was gonna say if you want it to feel like a little more spicy, sure. There's a warning on it. It says beware of.
I think this
fun.
version of Port World comes with expansions or something.
Are they naughty expansions?
Trogdor can speak to that. All right.
There's no.
One last game. So when I was not feeling well, I went to bed early.
Yep. And Kiddo and I had like crazy nervous energy for some reason. I had to go like walk around. I went and they have like a cool exercise track thing. So I went and explored that. And my oldest, I'm so proud, went and hung out with a game group and got to meet some people and got to play because she really wanted to play a group game and got to play Deception, which is again one of our favorites, and played 2 games of it, 2 or 3 games. I was gonna say I think Trogdor was there, and then everybody else was new to them, so that was kind of a fun experience. Got to hang out and just enjoy gaming. It was kind of a neat thing because when was the last time either of the kids had played board games? It was like
Yeah, they've
been a while.
They've been in video game land for well over a year.
And teenage land, right?
Well over a year.
And so this was really fun to see, and it was like, that's cool. I wish I hadn't been so stir crazy. I would have sat and played too, but I was just like buzzing with energy,
I was passed out.
and I was not going to drive you crazy. So yeah, I went and walked.
Yeah, that was right in the middle of me feeling the sickest. There's one day that I didn't hardly do anything.
Yeah.
Because I felt so bad.
Yeah, but it was awesome because got to play a couple games of that and just do something a little different, and kind of got to blossom a little bit because sometimes she gets a little shy. It's funny because she's typically pretty outgoing, but it's around people she knows.
Right,
so
right.
This is like a really cool like.
She's an
getting out
extrovert
and-
among her introverted friends,
Yes,
but an introvert among everything else.
kind of, yeah. Very much an ambivert.
So word to wise, if you're in Cozumel and you have a free buffet, don't eat the fish wraps.
You still sure that's what it was?
I'm 100% sure it was that fish wrap I had. I'm the only one that ate it.
You were the
and I'm the only one that
man.
got sick.
And you did say it was funky.
And I took one bite and I'm like, nope. And
there you
that
go.
was the end. All right,
Oh my gosh,
that's it for tonight, folks.
that was a long time. You know what? It was fun
You
getting.
got an extra half hour-ish.
It was fun.
All right,
Good to catch up with y'all.
next week, 1 week from tonight, our definitive top 100 games of all time. This is one of my favorite shows to do because what I do is I build this scroll. But basically, I take her top 100, my top 100, merge them
So
together,
excited.
create a definitive top 100,
Monster list.
and I build a scroll, and all the games, the names of the games just scroll by, and we talk about them. We got like 10 seconds to talk about each game, and I love it. It's fun because it's just like it's like a half hour or so of just rattling off information about games that we love.
It's a blast.
And
That's it.
what?
I don't know.
And as an extra spicy bit to the list, it's kind of a spoiler for those that stuck around to the end. Our goal, we usually do a resolution, board game resolution each year. Our goal this year is to play every game on that 100 game list.
That it's our combo.
So
yeah.
it's
We're gonna
like
play
a
our
1 by
favorites.
100 challenge for those 100 games.
I don't want to make the chart for that. Like, you know, most people put this big thing on their wall.
No chart. A 1 by 100 chart, it'd be like, I'd cover the whole wall. Anyway, so 1 week from tonight, definitive top 100. We'll see you then. Thanks for sticking around.
You guys are awesome. Heart.
Heart. Heart. Heart. Heart.
Bye.
What's that crazy eye look you have? I'm on the wrong screen.
Push the button. Push
Which
the button,
button?
Frank.
This button?
Yeah.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.